some of the greatest rock and roll anthems ever recorded. And then somebody commented on the video, like, what kind of moron are you? It's like, dude,
you can pick anybody.
I know, this is my whole point.
1987, the self-titled album with Still of the Night. Songs
Is This
were
Love, man?
all over. Two great entities coming together.
We have a magazine read through we did once where he's got the Hairspray.
Oh, yeah.
Like he must have unloaded 2 cans.
2 cans of
hair.
Aquanet. What is that?
And to me, that never made sense.
Never
Steve
made
Vai
sense.
and Whitesnake?
I got a superstitious woman.
There you go.
Dude, that tune is one of the greatest rock tunes
It's
ever
really cool.
recorded. Then you hear this song, Burn.
I
tunes on it.
think the Coverdale Page stuff,
Well,
way
that's
better
the whole
than the
thing,
Firm.
man.
Way
it's
better.
Like, this album rocks with a capital W.
Right.
And then so Jimmy Page has the same kind of
not
clout,
more.
if not more, because he made Led Zeppelin.
But it's ridiculous how busy.
He just dripped coolness. I know,
Page.
because it's such a weird thing, man.
Is he like related to the king? Or
Killer on he's amazing on this thing. It is so good. When was the first time you ever heard of David Coverdale?
Whitesnake was my introduction to him. I mean, first by sliding in, but then
This right here.
obviously the self-titled album was.
Well, that was huge.
Yeah, it was all over the place.
That song, I think, was the biggest song in the world that year. What a lot of people don't know, though, is
Like
that was
Still
it was
the
on
Night?
an, it was no.
Is This Love?
Here I Go Again.
Here I Go Again.
Here I Go Again was, I think, the biggest song in the world. What a lot of people don't know is that song was on another Whitesnake album
Right.
years earlier.
Yeah, just retooled.
They just kind of reworked it, put it out again,
Way
and
heavier.
then became the biggest thing in the world. Sold so much it was crazy. And but for me, the first time I really knew about Whitesnake and David Coverdale was this album right here. And what it was is that I went to school one day, and there were a bunch of people wearing this T-shirt because they'd been in concert like the night before.
Oh, gotcha. All
and I didn't
right.
know who they were, and I saw this bunch of people wearing this. I thought, what is this? And then I heard it, and the first 3 songs on this album
Awesome.
are like some of the greatest rock and roll anthems ever recorded. I mean, I could listen to those first 3 songs in this album over and over
great.
and over and over. You just can't beat it. It's so good. It is just anyway. That was the first time I ever heard of David Coverdale, and then you go, well, where did? Oh, because it's
Yeah.
Whitesnake, and then you go, wait, these guys have had a bunch of albums before this,
Yeah.
and then you go, wait a minute. So he actually was with another band before all this stuff, which was Deep Purple. And so then it was right around, it's hard for me to remember because a lot of these things happened around the same time for
Right.
me. You know, you're an early teenager. And I had picked up this because I was kind of getting into Deep Purple. And I remember getting this album. And of course, you know, it had all the stuff that was the really well-known Deep Purple stuff, like Smoke
Right.
on the Water,
Of course.
and Highway Star, and then
With
you
Ian Gillan
hear
and stuff.
Then you hear this song, "Burn," and I put "Burn" on it, you know it's not Ian.
You know
Gillan.
it's not Ian.
and it's like this crazy, amazing tune,
Right.
and then you realize, wait a minute, that
Different
is-
singer.
Yeah, that's David Coverdale right there, and. And then you go, okay, well that's where a lot of people first heard of him because Deep Purple kind of picked him out of obscurity.
Of course.
No one really knew who he was.
Maybe,
and then next thing you
maybe
know,
in
he's
England,
fronting
a couple little places.
Yeah, but next thing you know, he's fronting this huge band, and they end up putting
filling
out
some big shoes
killer-
and doing a great job.
Man, they put out some killer music. I mean, "Burn" alone, it's such an unbelievable song. And so then, you know, so I after all this stuff, I'm a huge fan of David Coverdale, and so anyway, just
So
such
here it
great
is,
stuff.
50 years later, and he's like pulling the plug. Does that, you know, kind of like, hey, I'm done. And I've read, I mean, he's done because you know John Sykes was with him, and he just passed earlier. And then I seen a lot of stuff about their feuding over the years and who does what and all that kind of stuff. We did a video, I think, on John Sykes. It's been a while already.
Yeah.
It's crazy how time flies. But the reality is that David Coverdale's voice to me was just so good.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, so
his
good.
singing voice and his speaking voice.
Yeah, and his speaking voice with the huge, heavy English accent.
Yeah.
And
it's really deep.
For those of you in England, he just sounds like, your common guy at the bar maybe or the pub. But for us here in America, to listening to him speak was like he was royalty, man. I mean, even like Robert Plant, who a lot of people say he sounds kind of like or whatever. I don't think so. I think he's definitely different. But his speaking voice, man, was like, whoa, this guy is like, is he like related to the king or like what?
And he was
he's
a cool looking guy. Everything about him was cool. He looked cool. He sounded cool. His attitude, his presence, just everything about him was just awesome. I loved
and the timing when they really broke out. Like we talked about 1987, the self-titled album with Still of the Night, Here I Go Again, like Is This Love? I mean, those songs
Is This
were
Love, man?
all over the radio. That was peak rock, and Whitesnake couldn't have timed that album. Not to mention, as you said, his persona, his presence, the Still of the Night video, Tawny Kitaen, all those tie-ins. This guy was larger than life at that point. Larger than life. I mean, could you get bigger? And then, like, his whole mic stand, kind of like his presence, as you say. Is there anybody? I mean, to be a frontman, there's plenty of frontmen that have, like, their moves, right? You got dancers got their dance moves, right? Frontmen have some certain moves, right? Axl has that thing that he bounces around, right? With the mic stand. David Coverdale had some pretty cool and unique, which I'm kind of surprised a lot of people don't take some of that from him. And I have not seen anybody doing that.
He just dripped coolness.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
We use the word swagger.
That's a good way to put it.
But yeah, I mean, he had that thing where he kind of like put the mic stand like under his arm and kind of held it back, where he'd kind of lean, and it was just like different, because David Lee Roth has swagger, but it's different, and he'd spin like he'd use his mic stand differently. Same thing with like a Bret Michaels or some of these other guys, but David Coverdale was just cool. And that whole
that's my
mic
point.
move.
Because you look at a lot of these other guys, like Bret Michaels, for example, and then I start thinking of people like Vince Neil and others that feel a little bit, I don't know, chaotic almost on stage, where Coverdale was like cool. Right. Everything about him, it just dripped. It just dripped this kind of calm coolness.
I'm a rock star, but I'm gonna have my tea right here when the set's done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
I'm a true Englishman. Tea on the side, killer rock star, and just cool.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to show you something. Have you ever listened to this?
Yes. We've covered Deep Purple, and you have told me about this album.
Come
and
taste the band.
Listen to it.
I kind of brushed this thing off a long time ago. Didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, what is this? Because this is like the last, prior to Deep Purple kind of getting back together in the 80s, this was the last Deep Purple.
Right, last hurrah.
It was over after this. And they really only had, Ian Paice and John Lord, from the original, from the classic band that we know.
Yeah.
And they'd brought in Tommy Bolin, he's right there, Glenn Hughes, and then now we have David Coverdale. And I didn't think anything of this. You see, I got a cutout here. I remember I bought this thing, and I didn't. So some time ago, I made a video about this, and I hadn't even really listened to it. I just was in passing talking about it because I never took it seriously. And then somebody commented on the video, like, "What kind of moron are you that you don't know anything about this record?" Yeah. So I go, "Okay, I need to listen to this." And dude, this album rocks with a capital W. WROKSXS, whatever, man. It is so good. And it is peak David Coverdale.
He's really good on this album.
He's killer he's amazing on this thing. It is so good. And of course you have Glenn Hughes, who's also a singer, and Tommy Bolin, who's a singer, and they both actually sing on this record. But man, this is great, solid 70s rock. And it's interesting the trajectory that David Coverdale took, because he kind of started Whitesnake on the side during all this time as kind of this almost like a blues thing.
Right.
And not last time, because I was in Thailand last week, but one of the last times I was in Thailand, I found this, and it had kind of a unique cover for the Live at Hammersmith, and I picked this one up, and I bought it there because a lot of times in Thailand you get these things, and they'll have, I don't remember if this one had it had an interesting insert with it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's why I picked it up, because a lot of these times when you buy things over there, they'll have these cool little, this kind of.
But the music and the vinyl and all it's all the same.
Yeah. Anyway, so I picked this up over there, and I've got more Whitesnake stuff. We just couldn't find it. It's in the collection somewhere. But anyway, yeah. So this is fairly early on in the Whitesnake days. But he had so much, and it actually during the early Whitesnake, he even did bring John Lord and Ian Paice over, and they were playing in some of that stuff, and it was that early Whitesnake stuff was so good. It was so good. By the time they got to the late '80s, and they put out 87, the self-titled, or 1987 or whatever you want to call it, it was good, but it kind of veered into this more commercial direction from what it had been.
Well, I feel like
in the early days.
I feel it's just kind of like you look at the music during that time, and you didn't really have. I mean, yes, you had like bluesish bands, right? But kind of in the early '80s, things kind of gotten away from that, and this was the '87 album. You brought John Sykes in, right, from Thin Lizzy, and he like supercharged what was already really good. So now you have blues on steroids, LA production, or whoever produced that, and suddenly you've got this pretty magical album that is just,
oh my gosh,
insane, over the top. It's heavy, it's bluesy. You've got David's smoky vocals.
Yeah.
It's dripping with charisma, and should I say, sexy, with just the videos and him and the Jaguar, and again, Tawny Kitaen.
Yep.
I can't forget Tawny Kitaen, right? I mean, that was a big deal. And then all over MTV. And then you have the breakdown of Still of the Night with the violin type of thing. It was just...
dig it.
Yeah. The whole package was insane.
Come over here, baby.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
I just want to get close to you. Taste your love so sweet. Oh, man. Yeah,
it is so good. I mean, Still of the Night
is great, dude. It's so good.
Still of the Night is one of my all-time favorite songs. Because it's just so good. And that has to be played at maximum volume. At 11. Because it's just great. From the drums, dude, Tommy Aldridge is sick. Sick on that. I mean, Tommy does there's a video of Tommy they're playing it, and he's on his drum set. It's like, I don't know if it's an instructional video or something. Tommy with his big hair.
Huge hair.
And he's just if you guys have seen this, it's freaking amazing. Because you hear the music being piped through. Tommy's sitting there, and he's just listening, dun, 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 and it's just, and then he starts just drumming away with the double, dude, it's ridiculous how busy as a drummer he is, and it's over the top, and it's fantastic. But then we find out later on, because the other thing was a little bit of the drama, because the people in the video had nothing to do with the album other than David, right? Because in the video you have
Adrian
Vandenberg
in it?
Adrian Vandenberg, No John Sykes.
Because even Vandenberg, like this next album, I think he played on one song.
Right. You had Steve Vai showing up. What is that?
And to me, that never made sense.
Never made
Steve Vai
sense.
and Whitesnake? Yeah, that one was
Yeah.
never made any sense to me.
But, I mean, so you had all this, like, news fodder, which today would be like breaking the internet, right? At that scale. But yeah, it was like, who's in the band? You had Rudy Sarzo, blonde Rudy Sarzo, right? Playing bass.
Man. Yeah, because we were in, because even Coverdale was. We have a magazine read through we did once where he's got the hair spray.
Oh yeah,
like he must have unloaded 2 cans.
2 cans of
hair.
Aquanet.
Yes.
Look, let's not kid ourselves. David Coverdale has and had some of the best hair. He had great hair.
He did.
You know, I don't know if that's like a gray wig that he's rocking, but he looks great.
Yes, he was always so cool.
Right?
Everything.
I mean, just there's so many things about that era of Whitesnake that impressed me. And like I said, Still of the Night is by far one of, dude, this is the solo. That's so crazy.
In the still of the night, I feel the wolf child honey slipping around your door. Oh man, yeah. I mean, the way his voice, yeah, it's just.
I don't know. I feel like, to me, I listen to it and it's like sultry and smoky. Like, I don't know.
But dude, you cannot beat. You cannot
the
beat.
yells. I mean, some of those high notes.
Yeah, he does.
It's insane. I can tell you in the personal driving home, if I'm listening to that, I'll blow out my voice trying to hit that. Okay. There's no way.
And it's great, dude. It is hard to beat it, but you can't. But I'll tell you what beats it is Keep On Pushing, Babe, Like I've Never Known Before. Oh, man, dude, that song.
There's some good stuff. Take It Down Slow and Easy. Right? That's the one you're talking about?
I know it got me crazy, child. I just want to see you on the floor. I got a superstitious woman.
There you go.
Dude, that tune is one of the greatest rock tunes
really
ever
cool.
recorded. I think that might be the best thing they ever did.
How is it that other bands or cover bands don't have that on their playlist repertoire?
I don't know.
How can you
Between
not?
that song, Slide It In, which is one of the greatest straight ahead.
This is pretty cool.
Greatest rock tunes ever recorded, and then
with
you follow it up with
to spare, right?
Yes, exactly. And then you follow it up with Love Ain't No Stranger. Who knows where the cold wind blows? I ask my friends. Oh, dude,
that's a great song.
Like I said, I started saying this earlier. Those 3 songs right there in a row. Slide It In, Slow and Easy, Love Ain't No Stranger. It's hard to find 3 songs back to back on any album ever, where it is just
good,
back to back,
better and better.
Dude, it's so great. It's so great. Anyway, this just for those 3 songs alone, it's one of my favorite albums ever recorded. Just because of and the rest of the album's good.
It's good,
but it's not as good as the first 3 songs.
No, I mean that's
those
a pretty
3
good
tunes.
It's a pretty good start,
Dude,
right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I
mean because this is really kind of their first real
Cozy Pal
big label. I mean, they were signed. This is Geffen that he was, but I mean, good stuff, man. And then obviously after the '87 album, we talked about Steve Vai, which that's really weird.
Actually, something interesting about
this one. I like
the
fact that you have the cassette.
Well, it's funny. I think I made a video on this channel like over a year ago where I was doing a demonstration on how to fix cassette tapes, and I think I did this one. Yeah, I think that's why I even have it here. But what's interesting about this is they tried to do the same thing with this album that they did with the other one because they had the song that had been released on another album earlier
and retooled it.
And they retooled it, and then it became a monster, enormo mega hit.
Okay.
And they did the same thing on this album, I think trying to do the same thing. Because they put out the song Fool for Your Lovin'.
Right.
So on this album, they're thinking maybe we could pull out another old Whitesnake tune,
retool it,
re-release
modernize it.
It didn't work as well on this one.
I mean, look, the 87 album, the Whitesnake self-titled album, or whatever we want to call it, that was lightning in a bottle.
Yeah. Totally.
Just the timing, the look, the swagger, all that, like we talked about, it was kind of the right place at the right time with the right heaviness, with the right MTV look.
Yep. Yeah.
Super high rotation.
Yeah, the look.
I mean, it was all over the place. I mean, all over the place. And all over the radio. I mean, it was just everywhere. And a great time.
Here I go again. That song, single-handedly, I mean, launched them into
stratosphere. Yeah.
It was so big. And still, go to karaoke night somewhere, and you're going to probably see somebody
will try to whip that out.
Yeah.
Go again on my own. And post Whitesnake, I mean, we're talking David Coverdale here. Post Whitesnake, we were talking about this for a second before we started recording, was his Coverdale page.
Yeah.
He sounds amazing. Because this is beyond the firm. It was just kind of like this anomaly of an album.
Kind of a one-off thing. Like, what is this?
But it is so good.
And it was good.
So good.
And disappointing that they stopped. Because a lot of people are like, okay, now what? We're going to throw some more stuff out here?
There are so many good... First of all, doing anything with Jimmy freaking Page?
Yeah.
He hasn't done anything since the firm, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you've got this amazing voice with rock god Jimmy freaking Page.
I know, because it's such a weird thing, man.
And you have them together, and then it was like, bloop. And I don't know if it got... Like, I remember seeing it, and I'm like, how can I not buy that?
Yeah.
Coverdale Page. And it had that weird, like, merging,
it was
like, street sign cover. Yeah. It's like two great people coming together.
Yeah.
Like, is that what it meant? And then you
I was
just
kind of
do
assumed
one,
that was the point.
And just one?
And then they put out one album, and I remember seeing an interview with Jimmy Page, I think it was him, where he said, well, it just seemed like a natural thing, like it needed to happen, something along those lines, like it was like a natural fit.
It is
for the two of them to get together.
Sounded great,
and it was man. And I don't want to. This is the David Coverdale discussion, but the whole thing about Jimmy Page, because here he is,
but it fits.
Creates Led Zeppelin, produces that first album, does all their stuff, like creates the greatest rock like thing ever with Led Zeppelin, and then he just kind of like disappears. He puts out The Firm, which is, it was okay. I mean, I liked some of this stuff. Right? Paul Rogers, whatever. But it wasn't. I didn't think it was great. It was okay. There were a couple of good tunes on it.
I think the Coverdale Page stuff way better than The Firm.
Man.
Way better.
It's like, okay, now this is the Jimmy Page that we all know and love. You know, like he's creating something really, really spectacular with somebody that it makes sense that you're playing with.
He could pick, I mean...
Because he's Jimmy Page. It's like, dude...
He can pick anybody.
I know, this is my whole point. Because I've talked about this before with Phil Collins when he toured with Robert Plant on his original solo tour. Phil Collins is a bona fide, successful rock star, but when Robert Plant calls you and says, I want you to play drums on my tour, and we're not doing any of your music, Phil Collins goes, of course, because you are the rock god.
Right.
And then so Jimmy Page has the same kind of clout, if not more, because he made Led Zeppelin. And then it just kind of like...
How?
Meh.
It's just, I don't know.
And then he does walk in and go... And he does this stuff with Coverdale, and like, okay, dude,
this is going to be great.
And
it was great. I just don't understand if it was money.
Gotta settle down.
Yeah, dude, that got you excited, right? Because
you
it is a big
know who's
deal.
yelling right now? If he's still watching this, is Vance right now. He's shouting at the anyway.
The thing is that this was like this perfect pairing. And I don't know if the label didn't put money behind it. They didn't. I don't know if they toured behind it. What happened? But I definitely was disappointed that you have these two great entities coming together, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And the album, I listened to it not too long ago, Because I was telling you,
It's been so long
I have the
since
CD, and I was like, huh. You know, I was just kind of unpacking. I'm like, how did this get thrown in here? Because I loved it, and it was great, and it's like you said, it's freaking Jimmy Page, as modern as we can get. Has he done much since? No. And dude, I remember listening to it. I'm like, whew, that is way better than I even remember it being. It's really good. And again, we're talking David Coverdale hanging it up. His vocals on there are
that was kind
awesome.
of some of his peak stuff, man. He was so good.
Great
back
stuff.
Then. But he always had a great voice, and it matured over time. Because when you listen to Burn, he sounds different. You know, there is a definite change in his voice as he grew.
I think about like his register, as obviously as you get older, you lose some of that. But the fact of the matter is that like you were saying, or when you were singing, kind of like some of this, like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like that speaking kind of like bluesy.
Yep.
He just sounds so good. He didn't really lose that. It's just the higher end range. I think you can't maybe over the years kind of losing that. And you know, again, we talk about these guys retiring. I'd like to see him, you know, going out on his own terms. That's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
As opposed to, you know, Don Dokken going out there and like that one girl that commented on one of our videos of Doc, and that was like, I paid money to go see him, and dude, it was disappointing. He's like singing 2 octaves lower or some shit. It was just like terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of takes some good self-reflection to be like, you know what? I've been doing this for 50 years. Time to hang up my skin-tight
Time
pants.
to call it a day.
Call it a day.
Yeah.
And, you know, power to them, but we are so blessed to have this body of work. And as I said, one of my favorite songs, and him to be singing it's awesome.
You know, that they found him, because it's a testament to, you know, these people that are out there that we would have never known about.
Sure, it's not like modern days where, you know, it's not David Coverdale putting out, hey, I'm doing this recording at home and putting it out there and being discovered on YouTube.
It's the Ian Gillan leaves Deep Purple, and they're like, we're not going to quit. We got to find somebody. And the next thing you know, here's this dude named David Coverdale, and that we would have never heard of otherwise.
Right.
And you think, man, that was, you know, and there are other people. How many other people out there like that we never got introduced to? But it was just such just kind of a lucky thing that it happened that way. Then we get this incredible body of work as a result of that situation.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that how we came across modern day, you know, Everyone's Got Talent, or, you know, some of these new shows. What's the other one with the singing, that Kelly Clarkson and who am I thinking of?
Like American Idol?
Yeah, American Idol, right? I mean, you have people that are way talented. Daughtry, is that the guy's name? He was the rocker guy, bald like me, but great voice. I mean, you get people out there that are just amazing and talented, but back in these days, in the 70s, you're finding someone, hey, I seen somebody at a club, and what an amazing singer, you know. You see, I mean, that's some of the lure behind some of these bands getting together that is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
You get picked out, next thing you know, boom. But obviously, since Deep Purple, he's also kind of forged his own way, was a band leader, started his own band, made his way with Whitesnake, there's something to be said about that, and sticking to his guns, you know? And they were huge.
Huge. Yeah. It was amazing that he pulled that off, how that all happened. It is fascinating. What a story. Anyway, so we had to talk about that just because when it was announced, I think I might have been out of the country when it was announced.
Yeah, I think you were traveling, because it's been fairly recent.
It was pretty recently, because I think I would have made a video that day because it was so obvious we needed to talk about it. But then anyway, we had to talk about it today because of that. So anyway, so fascinating stuff to see that, end of an era. And we obviously wish him well. And he's actually super active on social media, like on X or on Twitter. He's been on there for years and years and years, just always posting funny stuff.
I love speaking stuff. I remember on the with Eddie Trunk and that metal show doing some interview, and I just remember just listening to him going like, man, that guy just sounds
so cool.
And he's a rock star on top of it. I mean, he could have just been a bartender, for crying out loud, and be like, man, you got swagger.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Here's your pint, you know?
It's so awesome.
Or Howard, here's your pint.
Indeed.
But good. Yeah.
Want to thank Digitech for their ongoing support of the channel. You can see you've got their posters back here. We actually have on our set a new Digitech pedal.
Yeah, that's new to us.
We haven't tried it yet. I'm gonna bust that thing out. We're gonna we'll do a video messing around with the pedal. We've got a huge Marshall amp in front. Actually, we've got the little one right here, but we've got lots of guitars and amps around here to mess around with that. So anyway, appreciate their ongoing support. Follow the channel, like the video, share this with every single person you know. And with that, have yourself a fantastic day.